So what did you think overall of his performance?
He put on a clinic, and I don't know if anybody can finish Chito Vera. I mean, that guy's got a chin like nothing I've ever seen. Ate those 2 knees. Big shots all night. I mean, everybody knows the power that O'Malley has. He ate all those shots, even shots to the body that he took, kicks and punches to the body. Chito Vera is one of the most durable fighters I've ever seen.
Yeah. You talked about the incredible gate tonight. I think they said on the broadcast it was one of the highest gates that didn't involve Conor McGregor. So I guess where does Sean stand in terms of star power for the company and
biggest bantamweight fight of all time? If you based off energy, excitement, gate, and pay-per-view, it's by far the biggest fight ever in the bantamweight division.
Where do you see his ceiling? I mean, our comparisons to Conor McGregor, I know that's a little bit tough. He's one of a kind, but I mean, is he one of the biggest stars we've ever seen?
He's on his way. Yeah, he's on his way. He's the biggest star ever in bantamweight history. We can say that right now.
Definitely. What do you make of these call-outs of Ilia Topuria? I mean, is that something that you're even considering right now, or is it too soon to be talking about moving divisions?
Well, it's not Tuesday yet.
On Tuesday, maybe we can talk about moving divisions.
Yeah, right. I don't know about moving divisions. Yeah. You know how I feel about that. I mean, even Topuria was talking about not fighting anybody in the division after just winning the title.
Yeah.
That's crazy talk.
I want to ask you about Dustin Poirier as well. Obviously, future Hall of Famer, legend, fight of the night. I mean, what did you think of his performance and him at this point in his career?
These are the kind of fights, you know, when you talk about let me think of how to say this. The fight that he took tonight with Benoit. I mean, everybody, when the talk first started, and everybody was like, "Ooh, this is a bad fight for Poirier." Blah 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 blah. And then Poirier came out and said, "You know what? I didn't die," and all this other. This is shit that makes you a fucking legend. These are legendary fights. When you go in and you face a guy who is a savage and you know, looks like you can't win this fight, or people think you can't win this fight, and then you go in and do it in spectacular fashion the way that he did tonight. A lot of these fighters get very, you know, you've heard it many times in the past. They want me to lose, or they're trying to make me lose. I heard some nutty shit the other day from somebody that I won't even mention, but we don't determine whether you lose or whether you win. You do. What we try to do is put on the best match-made fight that we can possibly do. And that's why big stars are built in the UFC and legendary fights happen every weekend.
Nice. Last thing for me, given his legendary status and his performance, when it is Tuesday, is he in the conversation for a title shot in his next
Poirier?
Yeah.
I mean, Poirier, again, like I just said, I just went through that whole, you know, his stock again goes through the roof. At his age, all the things he's accomplished, all the things he's done, look at what he did tonight. And I don't know if you guys are too busy typing or whatever the fuck it is you guys do during fights, but if you stood up during that fight and saw the arena, it was insane. It was insane. And people were going nuts. Yeah, Poirier went to a whole nother level tonight with this fight.
Dana, what did you make of Michael Venom Page's UFC debut? I mean, he shut down Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland looked incredibly frustrated. What did you make of him?
Yeah, listen, he's got that style that's very, you know, he's a counter striker and you know, flashy, and we got to match-make his next fight the right way.
Did you feel like Kevin sort of, I don't want to say gave up, but in the third round was clearly just like, I don't know what to do with this guy?
I don't know if he gave up. You know, I had Michael win in the first round. I had Kevin win in the second round, and then you got to go in and whoever wins the third round. That's probably the first time that Kevin's ever fought anybody cockier than him.
Earlier this week, Mike Tyson has been announced a return to boxing. I know in the past you said you didn't want him to fight again. You tried to talk him out of fighting again. Have you spoken to him about this one?
He gets mad when I do this, but Mike's 60, man. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Who gives a shit what I think? It's not my fight. I love Mike Tyson, you know, personally as a friend, and he's one of my favorite athletes of all time. I don't know. Let's see what he can go in there and put together a training camp and come in, and you know, I don't like to see guys fighting it. Be a 31-year age difference during that fight. Just you guys know what I think of that stuff.
Conor McGregor says he still wants to fight in June, and he also mentioned he wanted to fight Nate Diaz in the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day. Do either of those two interest you?
I'm looking for Mexicans at the Sphere on Mexican Independence Day.
Nate.
Huh?
Nate Diaz.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that fight. Yeah.
What did you make of that finish in the Francis fight?
What do you mean? What did I make?
Yeah,
what did I make of it?
When you saw it, like it was. People are saying it's one of the more violent knockouts in boxing history.
Yeah, I mean, going into the Fury fight, if Fury trained for the fight and didn't show up and, look like he ate Tyson Fury, that's probably the way that fight would have ended too. I mean, listen, the crossover, you know how I feel about crossovers into boxing, and that's how they end, just like that.
Robelis Despaigne, who
Spain.
yeah,
Yeah.
got a knockout tonight.
Okay.
And your opinion about his performance?
Yeah, and knockouts are great. When you go in and you perform at this level, with everything that we were just saying about this place here tonight, the energy, the fans, and you pull off an incredible knockout, it literally doesn't get any better than that.
I know Chito lost, but you guys, before the pandemic, had gone to Chile, had gone to Argentina. Given his popularity, how much media there was here for him and fans, is there a chance that the UFC visits Ecuador at one point?
Yeah, I mean, take Chito out of the equation, we end up in Ecuador someday anyway. Obviously, when you have somebody who's that's popular from that part of the world, it's like we're talking about Africa and Spain right now. Seriously, we're heavily invested in Mexico now. Yes, we will end up there someday.
There were probably a record attendance from Ecuadorians. About 5,000 Ecuadorians were here, maybe a bit more.
You could feel it.
Yeah, and more than 40 Ecuadorian journalists came to see Chito. It would be good if UFC goes to Ecuador one day, but what would be your message to Ecuadorian fans that they were, extremely explosive, electric tonight, here and back home?
This is what I love about South America. I mean, it's almost like that soccer mentality. They support their own, and they're very vocal, and it helps create this unbelievable energy at sporting events when you have these people from other countries, and Ecuador definitely represented in every way, shape, and form, and it was fun. I mean, you'd hear USA or I don't know what they were saying, something O'Malley, and then you'd hear Chito, and it's the best, man. It creates that energy, that buzz at a fight that you love.
Thank you very much. We had a blast here.
Thank you, sir.
What do you think is coming now for Chito after this fight? Do you think maybe in the future is going to be the third part of this fight between Chito and Sean O'Malley? Could be?
It could be, yeah. He's going to have to get back on the horse and win a couple fights, and who knows, he could work his way back up to O'Malley again, because yes, it's 1-1, so that fight could possibly happen. I'm not even thinking about that or considering that right now, but not saying it couldn't be a possibility.
Benoit definitely showed that he belonged. Is that a guy that you guys are going to keep giving these big fights, or?
Yeah, no, he's one of the best in the world. Listen, Poirier, like what I said when we started this press conference, what I said about Poirier put on another legendary performance and took himself to another level. And Poirier is one of the best to do it. So it doesn't hurt his stock at all, not even a little bit. He's another one now that's got to jump back in the mix and win some fights. He'll learn from this.